good old buddy Putin. Putin of Russia. Russia of the Putin-esque farm family. I used to think that North Korea clamored for the most international attention by throwing nukes all over the place, underground testing, and be like, oh, don't touch us or we're gonna attack other people. Always holding other nations' civilization in hostage of other countries doing any kind of forward advancement. Man, humankind is so fantastic. Nevertheless, we got Vladimir Putin over in Russia. Look, let's look at the facts here. He wants Ukraine, okay? I don't know. Let's just assume he's going to take 100% of Ukraine at some point. Sure, he's failing to accomplish the mission today, but is that going to back him in the corner of having to use a lot of these low-grade nuclear weapons that they have in so much abundance? The United States has really powerful nuclear weapons, but we don't have anything quite to the scale of what Russia has, not necessarily on the high end, but more on the low end to counter the conventional warfare weapons. So the United States may have a lot of hyper-advanced missiles and rockets, but Russia has a lot of dumb nukes that are really small scale. It's almost likely that if Russia gets pushed to a certain extent and Russia is behind Putin, then he could lob a few of these low-grade nuclear weapons to Ukraine. But that's going to impact what they could do with Ukraine afterwards. They'll probably will come up with some, oh, we could take out a city or two and just rebuild around it, or just take over the rest of Russia with a threat of that one nuclear weapon. The rest of the world's going to react aggressively, as you can imagine. The United States is going to stand on its usual perch and balk at the fact that Russia is going to do this or do that, and we're going to promise more weapons to deliver to Ukraine. That's kind of the escalation that's taking place right now. We have seen this in the past quite a few times. We got Vietnam, Korea, Afghanistan. I mean, these are all places where typically the US and Russia are kind of have self-interest in one particular country and then use that as a staging point to basically go against the other guy. So in this case with Ukraine, now added to the list of the previous countries, we're just going to keep pumping them weapons so that they can fight off our enemy Russia. Thanks, Ukraine. And this will only have to come at the expense of your own people. As I had said in my previous video, and this might not be a well-received comment, but on one sense objectively, if you're an alien force coming into Earth and just looking at the situation, if Russia takes over Ukraine and Ukraine loses thousands and thousands of people in the defense of Ukraine, just for the looming threat to exist in a decade or 2 decades from now, what's the difference between Putin taking over Ukraine with no deaths if Ukraine just simply said, here you go, you know, let's have an open border situation and go from there. The citizens won't even really feel anything other than maybe different flags. And if they had negotiated with Russia in the beginning, maybe it wouldn't have been a full-scale invasion. I could be wrong. I'm just some dumb American making my own speculation based on the rest of the world affairs. The only thing that really gets me irked up as an American is seeing the President of the United States involve himself so much, not only with Ukraine, but also places like Taiwan. I have a tremendous amount of opinions on these two countries, and I don't think any one of them is right or wrong, but one thing is for sure. The US meddling in these countries is only guaranteed to make the situation worse and escalate it. It will not resolve them in a better light. The other thing with going on with our old buddy Putin is taking claims for hacking the United States. At this point, it just sounds desperate, whether it's true or not, to respond to the media and some hacking situation that took place on some server somewhere, and Russia just steps up like, yep, we did that. Yep, that was us. It's like, it reminds me of those terrorist cell groups. Anytime there's destruction, they'd be like, okay, who did this? I want answers right now. And then just every terrorist cell group like, oh, we did it. We did it. Did it cause destruction and harm and violence? Yes? Oh, we totally did it, guys. Yeah, fine. Woo! There's just really little, it's amazing how the media will sit there and take a response like that and run with it. Oh, well, Putin said he did it. I guess he did it. If our courts ran like this, wait, they do.